Alright guys, back here again this week, another whiskey review. Y'all can see we have a special guest today. Why don't you introduce yourself for the three people that's going to see this?
My name is Kevin Bro. I am the bourbon aficionado in this relationship between me and Bud. I also am the individual that taught Bud how to do curls. As you can see, he's pretty strong. Not quite as strong as these guys right here, but you know.
That's why you're supposed to have the sleeveless shirt, so you can show them off.
I was told my breasts didn't look right. So.
No? Who said that?
My lovely bride.
Okay. So, today Kevin invited me to his house. I got a little layover in Baton Rouge, doing some other stuff around, so he invited me over to do a whiskey review. So you want to tell them what you decided we're going to review?
Yeah, so when Bud asked me to do the whiskey review, I said we're going to do Booker's. So this is the Booker's, the third batch of 2020. It's called the Pigskin batch. So every year Booker's puts out 3 or 4 batches of whiskey. Booker's is made by Jim Beam or Beam Sundries. So this is their third batch. This is what some people consider the better batch of the 3 that were released in 2020. Typically they put out 4, but 2020, Fred No, who is the master distiller, said, you know, we're not going to release 4 if we're just not ready. So they released the third one in December, and it's pretty good.
So now y'all understand why I was so happy to do this whiskey review with Kevin. I mean, he's upping me because he knows all about this shit. I just drink it and tell y'all what I think. So, do you want to try it?
Yeah, let's try it out.
So, Mr. Bourbon Aficionado, why don't you go ahead and smell it and let everybody know what you're smelling?
So it's a little bit of caramel in the nose. I guess I kind of liken it to maybe almost a Werther's original. You know, it's a strong caramel, maybe a little vanilla flavor on the smell. What do you smell?
I smell the sweetness.
Yeah.
Not the Werther. I can smell the caramel, you know what I mean? I don't know if it's coming, I don't know if I'm getting it as strong as a smell as you are, but
yeah. So one thing to keep in mind, so it's 127 proof, so this one's a 63.5% alcohol, so it's got a little bit of you can smell the alcohol coming off of it a little bit, right? You can smell that it's a stronger bourbon than what you might usually drink on a weekday.
Okay. So, looking at my
Tasting
trusty
notes.
tasting notes. So the tasting of this bad boy, oh shit. So, like you said, the Werther's original smell, it got a crackerjack is what they explaining it as, a caramel-like, kind of salty, peanutty flavor. So I'm actually interested in tasting that if it's like what they say, along with hints of, you know, apple, orange, and full body, you know, bold spices and all that. So what I'm getting from reading this is we should have some sweetness to it, but maybe a little spice on the back end as the finisher or whatnot.
Yeah, so if anybody's familiar with Booker's, so what they typically do, or what they tout themselves for, is that they're an unfiltered, uncut. Sorry, I lost the word. Uncut bourbon, right? So what that means is they don't add water, they don't run it through a bunch of different filters to make it kind of cut down a little bit. What you get in the barrel is what you're going to get in the bottle. So, you know, you should expect it's like I said, 127 proof, so it's going to be strong. You're going to have a lot of alcohol flavor, a good spice to it. But the good thing about Booker's is it's a 6-year bourbon, so it's really smooth, right? Despite the very high alcoholic content, it's going to be very smooth. Let's try it out.
Let's try it, bad boy.
What are you tasting?
The sweetness to it, the little nuttiness to it, like it said. The finish does have a little bit of the spice to it.
Yeah.
But like you said, it is a very smooth one.
It's smooth, and you gotta appreciate that you don't get the spice right on the tongue, right when you sip it, right? You know, you get some good flavor in the beginning, and then the
Just-
heat comes in
yeah.
in the back end.
Yeah, that's a good way to explain that, because that's actually really nice.
Yeah.
So this is yours. Obviously you would recommend it because you bought it and you actually like Booker's as much as you know about it.
Right.
You want to tell everybody that you're in the Bourbon Society of Baton Rouge? That might be why you know so much of it.
So yeah, I'm in the Bourbon Society of Baton Rouge. If you get a chance, check them out. I think it's bsobr.com. So it's a great little society. They do a lot of things for Alzheimer's, and they do a lot of charity for Toys for Tots. So yeah, I've gotten into bourbon over the last few years, and they've been a tremendous help getting into that.
Yeah. Well, so price point, for the price point and for the flavor and smoothness of the whiskey, do you recommend everybody getting this?
I do. So you have to understand that Booker's is a little difficult to find at times. It's a $75 whiskey, but you know, for $75, it's really worth the value.
Mm-hmm.
It's, you know, people will say, you know, higher proof, you should pay higher money, or higher proof's a better whiskey. That's not always true, but in this one, definitely worth the value, definitely worth the price.
Yes, because I've had one around that proof. I didn't particularly care for it.
Yeah.
So, like you say, just because it's higher proof don't mean it's supposed to be better. Because I had a bottle that I particularly didn't care for, but I would definitely, if I come across this, I'll definitely purchase one for myself. I enjoy it. This is a really good sweet with the heat.
Yeah, it's a good one to treat yourself to, right?
Yeah.
It's not one you'll drink all night, but it's a good one if you want to start the night off and have a stronger whiskey, or if you want to finish the night after dinner and have one good strong whiskey.
Because your wife is on her second glass. I think she's really enjoying it.
Yeah, well, she drank most of my last bottle, so I had to buy more.
Okay. Alright guys, y'all, if y'all come across Booker's, y'all try it out and let us know what y'all think. Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
You came with the heat with all that knowledge, huh?
I mean, look,